Oh, without any question, Iraq. I think that I I looked at the situation in 2003 in Iraq, and I thought that it was unsustainable for a variety of reasons. The sanctions regime was collapsing. There were tens of thousands of people starving because of the really extraordinary and cruel sanctions regime that was in place, that was starving the people but enriching the regime. I thought that we would, and I also thought that there would be a way to get rid of Saddam Hussein and put in place a kind of UN-sanctioned regime that would bring the country together in the way that we were able to do in some senses in a place like Bosnia, even a little bit in East Timor, and that would be the path to follow. And so I supported the decision to get rid of Saddam Hussein and the intervention there. I think there are a whole bunch of misjudgments involved there, and I don't know whether any one is more important than the others. But partly I trusted that the Bush administration would handle it somewhat competently, and they handled the whole thing so incompetently that it became, the place collapsed literally in their hands, because they destroyed the army, they destroyed the bureaucracy, they destroyed all the state-owned enterprises, putting hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people who were armed and powerful out of work, and effectively telling them they had no place in the new Iraq. But I think that the biggest lesson I drew from it was actually a somewhat different one, which is that when order crumbles in these societies that are not very powerful political orders to begin with, that people reach for their ascriptive identities, their ethnicities, their sectarian identities, and that in the midst of that process, the United States becomes, or any outside intervener, any foreign power, becomes a kind of completely hapless bystander. I really watched that in Iraq, and I think that I should have had the perspective or historical perspective to have seen that. I knew a lot of the history, but I just didn't. I made a mistake, and that's why I look at Syria and say, people say, well, you can overlearn lessons. Yeah, but you know what? This is actually exactly the same. A minority regime that is being toppled by these broader popular forces. The minority regime and its supporters will fight to the end. They will continue to fight even if they're deposed. And for us to get in the middle of that and hope to be able to shape it to a stable situation strikes me as a very, very remote prospect. And particularly when, in the case of Syria, we will not have anything like the presence and firepower and resources that we had in Iraq. So that's, I think, the lesson I drew from my mistake.